Dear students, after having a glimpse of the progression of your syllabus, now let us learn about the major influence that guided the literature of England from 14th to 17th century. The topic of this session is Renaissance, definition and features. The learning outcomes of this session is after you learn this knowledge, you should be able to apply it. You should be able to answer questions about the literature of this period and the authors of Renaissance. You should be able to define key concepts so that you can present yourselves about key concepts like metaphysical poetry or Renaissance man, how he will be, and the forms of forms of literature which were prevalent during this period. You should be able to understand the concept of English Renaissance and explain how the inventions of this period, like that of the printing press, contributed to the era's literary achievements. These are the learning outcomes which we expect from the student after you learning about the influence of Renaissance on this period of literature. The history of Europe, in the history of Europe, the Middle Ages started from 5th to 15th century. It began with the fall of Western Ottoman Empire and merged into the Renaissance and the Age of Discovery. The Renaissance was a spirit of individualism. It means rebirth. Renaissance means rebirth, and it was a spirit of individualism, a spirit to cross the frontiers of all knowledge, a spirit to unfold oneself. It was a renewed study of Greek, and it began in Italy in 14th century, and it gradually spread from Italy to France, Germany, Holland, and later to England. It was a fervent period of European cultural, artistic, political, and economic rebirth following the Middle Ages. And this period is described as taking place from 14th century to 17th century. The Renaissance promoted the rediscovery of classical philosophy, literature, and art. Some of the greatest thinkers, authors, statesmen, scientists, and artists in human history thrived during this era. And there were global explorations which opened up new lands and clashed with cultures, and it also promoted European commerce. Thus, Renaissance is credited with bridging the gap between the Middle Ages and modern day civilization. It was a transition from darkness to light. The Middle Ages, which took place between the fall of ancient Rome in 476 AD and the beginning of 14th century. This period from 476 to 14th century is termed as the Dark Ages. The Europeans made many advances in science and art, and these dark ages were branded as such because it was a time of war, ignorance, famine, and many pandemics infested Europe, like that of the Black Death. One of the major factors which led to Renaissance was the humanism. This term is a cultural movement and it began to gain momentum in Italy. Some of the main principles of humanism was an idea that man was the center of his own universe and people should embrace human achievements in education, classical arts, literature, and science. So, humanism said that man himself is responsible for his fall or rise, and he should be able to achieve or find excellence in these fields of classical arts, literature, and science. Then another major thing that influenced Renaissance was the invention of Gutenberg printing press, which allowed for an improved communication so that these ideas of humanism begin to spread gradually with the spread of reading and writing and publishing and printing. Renaissance, as such, it was supported by this humanism and scientific inventions. It was a cultural and artistic movement in Europe, and it happened between 14th and 17th centuries. Renaissance may also be seen as a surge of interest in and production of art and literature. We have two forms of Renaissance. One is the Italian Renaissance, other one is the English Renaissance, and we are more focused on the achievements of this English Renaissance. The dominant art forms of this English Renaissance were literature and music. The definition of Renaissance means rebirth. As a result of this advance in communications, because of this printing press, early unknown humanist authors like that of Petrarch and Boccaccio were printed and published. This led to the renewal of traditional Greek and Roman culture and values. These writers promoted Greek cultures and Italian values and Roman values, which were spread among the masses. The printing press printed their writings and then it was distributed to the masses. Along with this spread of communication, we also have many international impacts like the inventions and improvement in trade and commerce which impacted the culture in Europe, and also these inventions and improvement in the finance of England promoted Renaissance. It first began in Italy. Many great Italian writers, artists, politicians, they declared that they were interested in participating in these intellectual and artistic revolutions because they wanted to move ahead from these dark ages. The European countries experienced Renaissance gradually. First, it began in Italy, and many groundbreaking Renaissance intellectuals, artists, scientists, and writers begin to expose themselves. The impact of Renaissance on English drama began in the middle of the 16th century. Even though it had begun in 14th century throughout the entire Europe, its influence on England was much later. Only during the middle of the 16th century its impacts was seen. During this Renaissance, drama became more secularized. See, this is one of the impact of Renaissance on English literature. Earlier, the drama was very much influenced by the church. It had a religious fervor and it was promoted by the Pope. But whereas because of the impact of Renaissance, the drama became more secularized and it reached its crowning glory in the hands of university wits such as Marlowe and then William Shakespeare and Ben Jonson. These Renaissance artists had certain characteristics wherein their works were witty, beautiful, and their focus was mainly on truth. And Shakespeare was a master of this dramatic genre during this period. And we can also see the many artists influencing these writers. And they were reading Greek literature, Greek classics, and they also learned to inquire and explore rather than accept anything blindly. That was one of the impact of Renaissance. Earlier, whatever the church said, they believed that it was true. But because of the influence of these classical writers, from Greek and Latin, people begin to inquire and explore. That was the major impact of Renaissance. It brought about the liberation of human mind because they earlier they thought that human mind is just there to obey somebody else. It was a slave to the church or the king. But now because of this new thoughts, new surge in thinking, they begin to taste that concept of liberation of human mind from superstitions and blind acceptance of religious faith. The Latin and Greek writers made the people acquainted with enormous beauty of nature and made them conscious about the power of human mind and its perceptive capacity. They begin to focus more on human achievements, on their own responsibilities to gain that consciousness, because human mind has that extreme power and it is more perceptuous. It has that capacity to perceive knowledge. So, the characteristics of Renaissance include renewed interest in classical antiquity. People were very much interested in learning Greek and Latin or reading those texts, and most of those texts were translated into English. That made them accessible, freely accessible to this classical literature. And there was rise in humanist philosophy. Humanist philosophy, as you must have known, it is an idea that says that man is the center of his own universe, and there is no external influence or people to influence him and force him to do what they want. But human beings, they are free and they are the center of their own universe, and that is promoted by humanist philosophy. So he became a Renaissance man, was very much individualistic. He was skeptic, and he was well rounded. That means he was very much interested in improving his own skills. And there was secularism, and then classicism was given more importance, and there were radical changes in ideas about religion, politics, and science. And these values were reflected in their architecture, literature, painting, sculpture, science, and every aspect of their lives. Some of the features of Renaissance was a positive willingness to learn and explore, not just to blindly imitate and accept the blind faiths promoted by the church or the king. There was a positive willingness to learn and explore, and then they find the nobility of man. They explored the nobility of man, and that is what is stated in humanism. And these people were interested in the discovery and mastery of linear perspective, and there was rebirth of naturalism and secularism. These Renaissance writers reached greater heights in the Elizabethan era. Chaucer was the first Renaissance man, who began the history of English literature with his Canterbury Tales. And if you go through this work of Geoffrey Chaucer, in his Canterbury Tales, the themes of his stories and the people who narrate these stories has this secular touch, and it reached its greater heights in the Elizabethan era. Many Renaissance artists, scientists, and writers like Leonardo da Vinci, who was an Italian painter, architect, and he was an inventor. He was a Renaissance man who was responsible for the painting of Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. Then we have Desiderius Erasmus, who was a scholar from Holland who defined the humanist movement, and he was a translator of New Testament into Greek. And then we have René Descartes, the French philosopher and mathematician, who is also considered as father of modern philosophy, who stated that I think, therefore I am. This is his famous statement, and he promoted that man is there to think. He should be able to think, and then he should be capable of taking his own responsibility. And then we have Galileo, an Italian astronomer, physicist, and an engineer whose pioneering works with telescopes enabled him to describe the moons of Jupiter and then the rings of Saturn. And he argued scientifically that we live in his views on heliocentric universe. Then we have Nicholas Copernicus, a mathematician and astronomer, who first made scientific argument for this concept of a solar system wherein the sun is the center and not the earth. Then we have Geoffrey Chaucer. He was also a Renaissance man. He was a poet and an author of Canterbury Tales. Then we have Dante, the Italian philosopher and poet. He was a writer and political thinker. He authored the Divine Comedy. We also see during this age Machiavelli. He was an Italian diplomat and philosopher who wrote The Prince. And then we have many English composers, musicians like William Bard, and these English Bible translators like William Tyndale, who translated the Bible, and he was burned at the stake for translating the Bible. William Tyndale, who was burned, he was killed because he translated the Bible and it was available to the common people in their mother tongue, in their local language, English. Now we have during this period John Milton, who was an English poet and historian, and his epic Paradise Lost is well known. And then, moreover, we have our renowned national poet William Shakespeare, who was the most famous playwright of all times, and because of his sonnets and greatest tragedies and comedies. During this era, from 14th to 17th century, we have Raphael, an Italian painter who learned from Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. And Michelangelo himself was an Italian sculptor and painter, and he was an architect who carved David. So, we have all these literary people who are very much influenced by this Renaissance, and these literary writers like John Milton, William Bard, Dante, Edmund Spenser, Thomas Watt, and Earl of Surrey, and William Shakespeare made experiments in literary forms. Thomas Watt and Surrey, they introduced sonnets to English. And then they invented that blank verse, and William Shakespeare also invented Shakespearean stanzas, Shakespearean rhyme scheme for writing sonnets. Christopher Marlowe, he was an English poet and playwright, and he was called the true child of Renaissance. As such, art, architecture, and science were closely linked to Renaissance. Whatever these scientists or literary people invented, it was recreated in their literary works. And engineers designed immense buildings and expansive domes, and many scientific discoveries also led to the growth of realism and naturalism in literature. And then emotion was another quality that artists tried to infuse into their works. Along with these achievements, we also see talents expressed in discoveries. Many Europeans took to the seas to learn more about the world around them. This period is also known as the Age of Discovery because several important explorations were made. Voyagers launched expeditions to travel the entire globe. They discovered new shipping routes to America, India, and Far East, and famous journeys were taken by Ferdinand Magellan, Christopher Columbus, Amerigo Vespucci, Marco Polo, and Vasco da Gama, and other explorers. This Renaissance appreciated the religion of what this Reformation promoted. Humanism encouraged Europeans to question the role of the Roman Catholic Church during the Renaissance. As people learned how to read, write, and interpret ideas, they began to closely examine and critique religion as they knew it. Along with this printing press, it allowed more texts, including Bible, to be easily reproduced and widely read by the people for the first time. This led to questioning the Catholic Church, and it gradually led to another important movement that influenced the literature of this period, the Reformation. It is a 16th century religious movement. It was promoted by a German monk who was named Martin Luther. It was a revolutionary movement that caused the split in the Catholic Church. That part we shall observe it in the next session, the Reformation, which was a major influence of the literature, influenced the literature of this period. And this Martin Luther, he questioned many of the practices of the church and whether they aligned with the teachings of the Bible. People begin to compare whatever the Bible said, was it true or not, as was said by the Pope or by the church. So, as a result, a new form of Christianity known as Protestantism Protestantism was created. And then scholars believe that this Renaissance ended because of several factors. Some of the factors which led to the demise of this Renaissance was the Spanish, German, and French invaders battle or wars. This led to disruption and instability. And then there were also changing trade routes, led to a period of economic decline and limited the amount of money. Money was, financial condition was deprived. And then this movement known as Reformation censored these artists and writers because they questioned the church. All these factors led to the demise of Renaissance, but gradually it gained its momentum and gave way to the Age of Enlightenment in the early 17th century. But in this semester, we are just studying the literature of from 14th to 17th century. And the major influence was Renaissance. After the end of Renaissance in the 17th century came the Age of Enlightenment. Okay, now let us understand why is this Renaissance important. Renaissance is important because there were advances in science and technology which led to the exploration of the world by the Europeans. And then secularism led to the Protestant Reformation. And then humanism encouraged the growth of democracy and fight for human rights. See, this is why Renaissance is very much important, because any literature can achieve its glory only with the background of secular and democratic ideas, and there was a fight if human rights were denied. And then the role of women in society was obviously improved, and then Renaissance art led to the age of classical music and classical art in Europe. We shall end this session here, and you have these references which you can gain access to much more information about the growth and decline of Renaissance and the importance of it in promoting literature and its impact on 14th and 17th century literary England. Thank you for watching this video, and in the next session I will be trying to explain to you the causes, growth and decline of Reformation. Thank you.